Okay. Hi guys. My name is Jillian Robitis. If you don't know me, I use she, her pronouns. I am the AIT New Hampshire director. I'm excited to be hosting the Zoom tonight. I have a couple just housekeeping things before Vlad takes it away. First, let me make sure I got my list. I say all the things I'm supposed to say. The AIT Adult Weekend Skate Away. The early bird registration is going to go out on July 1st. This is our kind of weekend adult skating event that happens in Austin in September. So just know that early bird registration, which is a slightly discounted rate from the regular registration, that's going to be going out July 1st. So keep in lookout for that. This virtual summer series continues throughout the rest of the summer. The next one after this is on Tuesday, July 16th, and it's with Lorna Brown. And then just so everybody knows, these Zooms are recorded. We send them out to all the participants and anyone else who wanted to get them afterwards. So just know that they are recorded, but we do encourage everyone to turn on their cameras and make the classes interactive as possible. And then lastly, we're going to introduce our presenter today is Vlad Tchernov. Sorry, Vlad. He is a Ballet for Figure Skaters certified teacher, as well as a coach and choreographer based in Toronto, Canada. So take it away, Vlad.
Thanks, Jillian. So as Jillian said, hang on one second. Oh, okay, sweet. Here we go. So as Jillian was saying, I'm Vlad. I'm from Toronto. I use he, him pronouns. I am Ballet for Figure Skater certified, and I'm super excited to teach this class. I'm a skating coach and choreographer in both the dance and skating world. So I've spent many years kind of doing the two on the side, and here we are bringing the dance and skating together for this class. So I'm very excited to get going. Before we get going, I wanted to talk a little bit about just what I believe in as a coach and my kind of coaching philosophy. I believe if we can find a like a strong method that can help anybody progress through multiple levels of exercises, then we can all achieve our goals in one way or another. So what I really like about using the Ballet Vaganova method is that it's heavily based in progressive exercises that help you understand and build your body strength and understanding from the beginning up. So you're able to take on those complex moves that may seem impossible when you just look at them, but breaking them down through off-ice exercises, strengthening our body, and we're working through those similar movements will sort of help us achieve those skating songs. The sun is flashing in the back. Nice. And all while keeping injury prevention. It's so important that we strengthen our bodies and have a certain level of body awareness before we go on the ice and attempt all those crazy fun skating moves, because it can be dangerous and we want to prolong our skating journey and our dancing journey as long as possible throughout as many years as we can go. So very important that we're also strengthening to prevent injuries. Let's see. I just wanted to talk a little about the benefits of doing a skates-on class in a ballet style off the ice, because usually that's super unheard of. Anywhere in Canada, nobody is doing this. So this is a one-of-a-kind, unique program that really bridges the gap between trying things off the ice, maybe without skates, with shoes, it'll feel good. But when we add that extra weight, sometimes feels incredibly harder. So we're going to bridge that gap, and we're really able to feel the foot, the ankle, the lower leg in the boot, which is normally really constricted. And I find that a lot of frustrations arise on the ice when learning turns or spins or even jumps, even doing edges when your coach is asking you to lean on a certain part of a blade. And you know, it's scary if you can't feel your foot and the ball of your foot, your heel, how far back you can go. You can slip, you can fall, we can hurt ourselves. So finding that awareness in the articulation and range of motion that we can find in our boot without having that fear factor, without focusing on other skating moves is so important and going to be so beneficial. Just overall body awareness in the muscles that we're going to be using in our feet. We're gaining a lot of strength. I mean, most of these exercises are essentially Pilates exercises on the floor, and then we build ballet exercises through the bar, but all strengthening. Oops. But yeah, all strengthening our bodies and our minds in the awareness sense, so that we can feel confident when we attempt things on the ice and just have another kind of layer of knowledge to approach it with. So before we put our skates on or do anything of that sort, let's quickly just warm up our feet. We're going to do a gentle foot massage. You're going to make a knuckle with your hand, and you're going to use the points. And by the way, I encourage you to try every exercise with me, but if at any point you feel like it's becoming too much, or you're just really tired and you want to listen, that's totally fine. I'm here for it all. Feel free to ask questions. Just turn your mics off and yell, and I'll stop what I'm doing and we'll get to you. So let's grab one foot. Let's say I'm going to take my right leg. I'm going to hold it with my right arm. I'm going to take my left hand in a pointy fist. And I'm just going to sort of dig into the bottom of my foot in a twisting motion all the way up and down. It's so important to do even a gentle warm-up before we get on the ice or do any kind of off-ice class, so that our feet aren't feeling stiff when we're trying to really feel articulation and gain awareness through our feet. Nothing is worse than putting your cold, stiff foot in a boot and then, trying to feel the front of your blade, the back of your blade. You're like, oh gosh, my foot will just feel like a brick. So let's break down some of that muscle. Let's ease it up. And we're going to feel good about it. Make sure you go all the way up and down, get your toes through the middle, the inside arches, the outside arch, just really trying to get in there and loosen up our feet so we're ready to move them. Great. Now moving on, we're going to lift our foot up and we're going to spread our toes. I'm wearing socks, but we're going to spread our toes and try to stretch them back. You can see we're going to pull them back. Holding out, just a gentle stretch, nothing too extreme. The leg doesn't have to be high at all. You can lift it up if that feels good for you, but if not, it can stay at a lower level. Nice, and then we're going to let go, and I want us to cramp our toes, curving in, just waking up those muscles, making them work. Good, and then we'll do one more stretch of our toes. A couple of things here now. We're going to grab our foot. Using the palm of our hand, we're going to place it flat on the bottom, and using our fingers and thumbs, we're going to fold our foot in half. Again, just sort of continuing that massage process, breaking down, or not breaking down, but relaxing, getting a little bit more movement in. Nice. And as we lift our foot up, if you feel any tension in the back of your leg, one more time, you can again take those pointed knuckles. If you feel a little tension in the back of your knee, you can rub a little bit there, and your hamstring a little bit there. This is just a very quick warm up, which you can take however long you want to take on. And we're also going to take our hand and just get into our calf a little bit. Try to really relax the foot into your hand so that you can feel the muscles sort of being loose and not too tight here. And nice. Let's just quickly do everything with the other leg. So we're going to start with our pointy knuckles, digging in, rotating, moving up and down the whole foot. It also feels really nice, and we're taking care of our bodies. So twisting motion, getting the inside and outside arches, getting into our heel, rolling all the way up, all the way down. We're going to be lifting our foot up now and sort of stretching our toes back, feeling that stretch in the kind of under our foot, in between our toes. Also going to be spreading our toes out, making sure we're becoming aware, moving them back and forth, just really waking up our feet. Let's curve our toes in and stretch them out, and curve our toes in and stretch them out, curve in and hold. Feel that tension there. Good, and we'll release and stretch it one more time. Really pull back, pressing into that foot. Nice. Again, let's grab that foot. Palm of your hand is going to go on the bottom. We're going to start folding in half. Trying to fold that foot completely in half. 2, again, moving up and down, top of the toes, all the way to the heel. Great, let's do one final stretch. If you feel any tingliness behind your knee, give it a good rub there, taking our time, a little bit in the hamstring. Awesome sauce. And finally finishing up with the calves. Try to relax your foot into your hand so you can squeeze in between our calves and those two muscles and just digging in with our hands. Great, okay. Right off the bat, do your feet and legs feel any different, guys? Just wondering.
You guys.
Oh, hello. Yeah, so even sometimes I like to start off with like a little bit of a straddle stretch and I feel super tight and super sore. But after that quick massage, everything just feels a little bit more accessible. We didn't do anything crazy, like we didn't do a full stretch class and warm up, but now our muscles are just a little bit more awake and we're ready to go. Cool. So next, we're going to just talk a little bit about a couple of cues that I'm going to give during class. Oftentimes when we hear kind of tense your core, right, we all think of our abs, our deep abs, kind of our obliques, but mainly the front sides of our bodies here. When I'm going to say engage your core or feel your core working, I want you to think of the letter capital I. So we're going to, the bottom of the I is going to be your pelvis, the glutes that surround it, hip flexors in front, everything in between. Our I stretches up through our entire torso, our upper body, and then top of our capital I will be this shoulder girdle, all the muscles on top, in between, surrounding us. So everything in your back, the muscles between our spine, engaging all these muscles, our lats here, definitely pressing our shoulders down is going to be a lot of engaging our lats work. So the capital I core, if we can even just sort of visualize that, is going to be bottom to top here, and then through your body here. So it's really a lot more than some of us think sometimes, and that's just because we, core is core. We do our sit-ups, we feel good about our core. But if we think about engaging our capital I core this way, we're going to be working a lot of our stabilizing and mobilizing muscles that are sort of in between our big muscles, and we'll overall just feel a lot more balanced and engaged, which is at the same time going to strengthen our bodies to help us with movement. One more thing I wanted to talk about is when I'm going to cue to turn out more, I want you to think turning out from the hips and not necessarily just the knees or the ankles. Thinking about that rotation starting at the top of the pelvis. And if this was my pelvis bones, I'm like trying to rotate them outwards as much as I can. We're going to feel that in this next exercise when we work through our feet and articulate, still before we get our skates on. But just keep in mind that when I'm saying turn out, try to initiate it from the top of your pelvis and then send it down to your knees and ankles. If we try to, for example, commonly, I see this a lot in my students in ballet class when I'm like, oh, find your first position. And everyone's trying to find that perfect first, but what's really happening in their knees is they're overstretching and pulling here on just joints that can't handle that kind of strain and stress, which will lead to injuries over time. So a nice exercise, actually, just as a little bit of a bonus, to find where your current turnout is if we hang on to the wall or the bar so that you feel balanced, you lift your toes up, now you're on your heels, definitely squeezing our glutes, pulling our knees up, feeling tightness here, but we lift up our toes, and if we rotate outwards and just place our feet down, and when we rotate outwards, I'm trying to squeeze my glutes and rotate from my hips as much as possible, place our feet down. This will settle us into a nice first position that's going to help strengthen us, but also not injure us in the process. So you can kind of take that and keep it in your back pocket. So find your turnout from your hips, engage your glutes, make sure we're going to stay pulled up through our knees so that everything is engaged on top here. Because if any piece of the puzzle is loose or not working, then we put certain strains everywhere on our joints, which will lead to injuries, as we said. Okay, nice. Let's move on to our foot articulation exercise. So we're going to be seated on the floor, and our legs, I'm just going to move this a little bit more downward. Our legs are going to be flexed in parallel. So as my feet are flexed in parallel, try to watch the angle of your toes. I want you to try to connect your ankle bones together and keep your toes pointing upwards. Okay, try not to let your toes sag out in or curve in. Ankles are connected, toes are going to be pointing upwards. Sweet. In this position, you'll want to almost feel a slight lift from your heels because you're pulling your knees up so much. This will truly give you a very engaged and strong feeling in your body as we do this exercise. So to go through the exercise, it's going to be fairly simple. We'll start in flex. We'll hold for 1 count, then we'll move to a demi point. So I'm stretching through my ankles as much as I can, but keeping my toes flexed. And then we're going to roll through a full point and let our feet join in, trying to feel a stretch in the top of our foot here and like a deep tension in the bottom of our foot as we roll through. And then we're going to flex. So counts will be flex on 1, demi point on 2, roll through point on 3, and we're going to hold 4. We'll flex on 5, demi point on 6, roll through point on 7, we'll hold 8. We'll repeat it 2 more times. Flex, demi, point, hold, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, as we do this, we can have multiple levels of kind of difficulty in our upper body. If we're feeling it, then let's try to clasp our hands behind our back. I'm going to face the side for this so you can see my body. My shirt isn't helping, but I'm trying to completely create one line from the side of my body between my head, my elbows, my shoulders, through my back, and through my hips. So I'm squeezing and pulling up, feeling that capital I core, trying to lengthen through my spine as well. So that's option A for arms and upper body. And second option can just be fingers on the floor. If you want to focus on your feet a little bit more and not have too many things to think about, I'm totally for that. Hands can just fingers be placed on the floor and keep yourself strong. So let's work through that all together. I won't do music for this exercise just because we're still kind of warming up. So I'm just going to count it slowly and then we'll get going. Cool. Okay. So we're sitting in flexed. Optional, hands are clasped behind your head. And here we go. Knees are pulled up. We flex hard on 1. We demi point on 2. We roll through full point on 3. We hold 4. We flex on 5. Demi point on 6. Full point on 7. Hold 8. Good. We'll repeat it twice more. Flex 1. Demi point on 2. Full point on 3. Hold 4. Flex 5. Demi point on 6. Full point on 7. Hold 8. Awesome sauce. Part 2, we are going to place our hands will release. We get to place them on the floor, and we're going to slightly lift our bodies off the floor. Now, when we do this, we're trying to find our range of motion and turn out from the hips by allowing ourselves to lift up a bit, because sometimes we get stuck when we're seated and turning out feels a little bit hard and tricky. But when we're going to lift up, we're going to rotate through the hips and try to get our pinky toes, I guess you can see better here, try to get our pinky toes against the floor. So I'm aiming to imagine this sort of spiraling action that's starting from my hips and spiraling down my legs as my pinky toes get to the floor. And I'm going to try to keep this feeling throughout this entire second part. The exercise itself will be the same. We'll flex, we'll demi, we'll point, we'll flex, we'll demi, we'll point. We'll do that 4 times. Except now we're staying turned out the entire time. As we lift up, I strongly encourage you guys to try and feel your glutes working, really hold a nice tension there, and just let's get a good workout. Here we go. So arms are out to the side. Our heels are connected. Pinky toes are aiming to touch the floor. We're going to lift up, squeezing our glutes, pulling our knees up, keeping that capital I core strong. Here we go. We flex hard on 1. Demi point on 2. full point on 3. Nice, hold 4. We flex on 5. Demi point 6, full point 7, hold 8. Awesome. 2 more. 1 and 2, full point 3, hold 4, flex on 5, demi point 6, full point 7, and 8. Great. Are we feeling a little bit warm, you guys? Great. I am sweating. It is so much work, but all for the better. Totally worth it. Okay. Last part of this exercise, and then we'll get our skates on, I promise, because I know that's very exciting. Last part is just rotations through our feet. So now that we felt that turnout, we felt that parallel, we're going to start flexed. We're going to turn out our feet, work through demi, work through point, then turn them back to parallel. Now, I want you to pull your knees up and sort of feel this one line, almost like you're stretching an elastic band, being connected from your toes all the way to your hip. So we're trying to create a really strong connection there that's going to rotate from your hip and only be affected by your hips rotating. So before we try it, let's try to feel that first. So we're going to flex our feet. Let's see. Hands can be optional here, however you feel good. Here, here, here. Challenge yourselves. I'm all for it, but I'm totally fine for this. So when we flex, try to squeeze your glutes tight already and rotate from your hips. We'll work through a demi point, and then we'll point to turn into parallel. We'll flex on 1, turn out on 2, demi point 3, full point 4, and then we'll go to parallel on and. So we'll work through that. And just to sort of quickly review the counts, we'll flex on 1, turn out on 2, demi points on 3, full point on 4, and 5, 6, demi 7, full point 8, and. After that 4 times, we'll repeat it, and we'll start with turning out on 1, flexing on 2, parallel on 3, demi points on 4, and then full point on and. Yeah, so I'll demonstrate that now with the feet. So we just finished our turned out, and we went parallel in the last one. Now we'll turn out our feet, pointed, pinky toes to the floor, flex on 2, rotate to parallel on 3, demi on 4, full point on and. We'll turn out on 5, flex on 6, parallel 7, demi point 8, and. Great. Let's do part 3 all together. So all of the rotations, and then we'll get our skates on. Cool. So again, optional hands here. They can be out to the side if that feels good, on your waist. But I really encourage you guys to try and sit up tall. Feel that strong capital I core, and try to lift and extend through your spine, through your head, straight to the ceiling. Great. So we're going to start with flex, and then we'll turn out on 2. Nice. So here we go. 5, 6, 7. We'll flex on 1, hard flex. Rotate on 2, turning out from the hips. Demi on 3, full point on 4, and turn it. We'll flex 5, turn out on 6, demi point 7, full point 8, and 2 more. Flex 1, rotate 2, squeeze your glutes. Demi 3, full point 4, and flex 5, turn out 6, demi 7, 8. Let's reverse. Turn out 1, flex on 2, rotate on 3, demi on 4, full point and, rotate 5, flex 6, parallel 7, demi 8, and turn out 1, flex 2, rotate 3, parallel 4, and 5, 6, parallel 7, 8, and. All right, you guys. Our feet are now ready to get in our skates. They're warmed up. Our hips are warmed up. Our legs are good to go. So let's put our skates on. Now, as we put our skates on, try not to, or please don't tie them so tight that you feel like you cannot bend your knees. I like to tie them a little bit looser for a ballet off-ice class so that I can press into my skates a little bit more. It's just a great way to break in your skates initially when you get them, right? Everyone says walk around the house, bend into them, press into them. So this is a great way to get into your skates. And B, we can access way more plie. We can access way more range of movement when we just loosen them up a little bit. So let's tie them, but not too tight. Great. If at any point during the class, your skates are feeling like really heavy weights on your feet, I wanted to say that every single exercise that we're gonna do with skates on can also be done with skates off and still benefit a lot for our strengthening and our body awareness. So if at any point your feet are just not having it, feel free to take off your skates and just continue or watch. Up to you guys. All right. Let me know when you guys are ready, maybe with like a thumbs up or something, or I'll give you guys like a minute or so to get your skates on, no rush. Grab a sip of water, have a drink. Okay, how are we doing, guys? Are we got our skates on and ready? Sweet. Thank you, Laura. Nice. Awesome sauce. Thank you. Um, nice. Thanks, Elsa. Lorraine, sweet. I'm gonna give like maybe 30 more seconds and then we'll get going. Don't worry. Take this kind of at your pace. And if you miss anything, just feel free to ask a question. Okay, awesome. Let's get started with our first exercise. So this is going to be an exercise that focuses on turnout, but so many other things are going to be involved. It'll just feel like, I want to say probably every exercise will feel like a whole body exercise. So this one is going to start on our backs. And this is where if you just wanted to get a little bit more comfortable with a mat or something, because we're going to have our elbows sort of propped up here. So if you want to use a mat, go for it. I will just be here doing my thing. Okay, so we're going to be leaning back on our elbows. We're going to connect our feet together, almost like the butterfly position, in this turnout position. And we're going to try to lift our heels off the floor. So this is going to engage as well the outsides of our feet, which is going to be a really nice feeling, but also important to feel the awareness in those muscles that we can press in and out inside our boots. One more thing, sorry, I got a little bit ahead of myself. One more thing before we get going is I want you guys to sort of lay on your backs and stretch your, I'm struggling with this camera, and stretch your feet up. Oh, so close. And stretch your feet up straight in the air right above your hips. Now, what we're gonna do here is focusing on just flexing and pointing in our skates. We're going to move through our feet and just kind of take notes and notice what we feel when we point as hard as we can. You know, for example, one thing can be you notice that your heels are actually lifted off the soles of your skates when you point super hard. Notice how you feel depending on how low cut the back of your skate is. Notice how you feel that tension on the back of your calf as well. Notice how the top of your foot is pressing against the tongue or the top of your skate. Just sort of bringing awareness into our feet about how they feel when we really point as hard as you can. When we flex as hard as I can, you know, feeling that same sort of connection, the top of my skate and the tongue here. Trying to flex hard to feel a good stretch, but just really getting our feet working in our skate now. So let's flex and point just quickly about 8 times before we move on. So we're going to flex hard for 1, 2. Knees are pulled up in this position. Pointing for 3, 4. Pointing hard, feeling even your toes. That same feeling we had on the floor before we put our skates on. Trying to find that same feeling here, stretching your ankles and not just tightening our toes, but lengthening through. Flexing 5, 6. Pointing 7, 8. Flex 1, 2. Point 3, 4. Flex 5, 6. Point 7, 8. Awesome. All right, cool. So again, just taking mental notes, reflecting on how our body is feeling and what awareness we're sort of developing as we work off the ice in our skates. Okay, here we go. Exercise 1. So call this the turnout exercise, where we're going to be on our elbows and our feet are pointed in front of us. Heels are lifted off the floor, engaging the outside muscles of the leg. We're going to lift one leg up into a front attitude. We have 2 counts, 1, 2. We're going to turn in the leg inside our hip, 3, 4. So trying to keep both hip bones or your pelvis level on the floor as you turn in that leg, and truly working that isolation in your hip, squeezing your glutes. Rotate 3, 4. We're going to turn out 5, 6, and hold 7, 8. From here, we're going to extend the knee out to the side and stretch the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to hold 5, 6. Sorry, just double checking. We're going to hold 5, 6, and then flex 7, 8. In this position, we're going to turn in 1, 2. Turn out 3, 4. Point 5, 6. Bring that leg back into our seated position, 7, 8. And then we're going to lift it up again and to stretch out 1, 2, 3, 4. And carry in front 5, 6, 7, 8. That'll sort of be the first part of the exercise. I know that's a lot. I'll go through that slower one more time. We'll go through counts and sort of cues as I'm doing this exercises along the way. You guys are okay so far? Sweet, yay. All right, so we're in our position. We're lifted up out of our shoulders when we're just when we're propped up on our elbows here. Try not to sink in and almost droop in your upper body. Remember what we said about the capital I core. You're going to lift up, squeezing our muscles around our spine and trying to lengthen as much as we can. So we're going to take 2 counts to lift our, let's pick our right leg. We're going to lift our right leg up to attitude front, 1, 2. Now turning in from the hip, 3, 4. Turning out 5, 6. Holding 7, 8. From here, we're going to extend the knee and leg to the side, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to hold for 2 counts, 5, 6, and flex 7, 8. We're going to rotate the leg in, turn in from the hip, 1, 2, turn out 3, 4, point 5, 6, bring the leg back into retire, 7, 8, to again extend our leg, 1, 2, to the side, 3, 4, and lift it above our hip, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great. We're going to focus now on the second part of the exercise. Movement-wise, it's easier than the first and easier to remember. We're going to do leg rotations from the hip. So working on a multi-planar level here, we're going to drop our leg down to the side, to the front, carry it to the side, lift it up, and then we'll flex. do the same rotation. Front, side, up, we'll point. We'll reverse it the other way. Side for 2 counts, front for 2 counts, up, we'll flex, and then we'll go again, side for 2 counts, front for 2 counts, up. We'll point and lower, down, and I promise we'll chill for a second after that. Cool. Okay, so let's try just the second part of that exercise. So we just finished our extension, our second one to the side. And we take our leg up above us, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now with a strongly pointed foot, again, your heel is lifting up in your skate. We lower it down for 1, 2. Make sure we're squeezing our glutes tight, taking to the side. 3, 4. We lift it up, 5, 6. We flex 7, 8. We lower it down, 1, 2. We move it to the side, 3, 4. We lift it above us, 5, 6. We point 7, 8. Reversing the rotation. Side 2. Carry to the front, 3, 4. Trying to hold that turnout strong the entire time. Lifting 5, 6. Flex 7, 8. Same direction. Side 2. Carry to the front, 3, 4. Lifting up 5, 6. Point 7 and lower back down. 8. All right. Something important in this exercise that is difficult to keep, but very valuable, is making sure that we keep our turnout equal on both sides, especially when we have the leg that now has a skate on it, which is an extra weight, right? We're basically like weight training now. It's super easy, especially when that leg goes to the side, to let this other leg fold in and just follow it through. So using our glutes, squeezing and rotating in our hips as that leg goes to the side, for example, we're trying to keep the back of this knee pulling downwards to hold turnout in both hips. We go up, same thing on our way up. Super easy to kind of close in together, and then, but we're going to lose that turnout if we do this. So we have to keep our glutes rotated out, squeezing strong, and then we lift up and try to maintain that turnout in the second leg as well. We can call it the supporting leg and the free leg, but honestly, both legs are working equally as hard here. So one leg is airborne and one is on the ground, both working equally as hard. Okay, let's repeat everything on the other side so that we can even out, feel balanced, and make sure that it's equal and fair. Here we go. So if you use your right leg, we're going to move on to the left now. So we're leaning back on our elbows. We're pulling up in our bodies. Our feet are together in front of us in this seated butterfly position. We're squeezing our glutes and lifting our heels up. Here we go. Left leg is going to lift up for 2 counts. 1 and 2. Turning inside, turning in, inside the hip, 3 and 4. Turning out 5 and 6. Holding 7 and 8. We're going to extend to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 5, 6. Flex hard. 7, 8. Turning in 1, 2. Turning out 3, 4. Pointing hard. 5, 6. Bringing our leg back to rotary. 7, 8. We're going to extend to the side. 2, 3, 4. And lift the leg above our hip. 5, 6. Hold 7, 8. Let's try our rotations. We go down front. 1 and 2. Carry to the side. 3. Inside of the heels facing up. Lifting 5, 6. Flexing 7, 8. Same direction. Front and 2. Inside of the heel facing up. 3 and 4. 5 and 6 above us. Point hard. Let's reverse the direction. Side and 2. Carry to the front. 3 and 4. Lifting up in front of us. 5 and 6. Flex hard. 7 and 8. We carry to the side and 2. Make sure that other working leg stays turned out. 5 and 6. Point 7. Lower 8. Phew. All right. Nice job, guys. This was a tough one. If you need to take a little bit of a break right now, go ahead, grab a sip of water before we move on to the next exercise. Yeah. Still have lots of time. We're doing great. Okay. Okay, next we're gonna stand up, and this is where you can grab your makeshift bar or chair or couch, whatever you have that you can sort of support yourself with. Um, and we're gonna use that to assist us in balance as we sort of go on this, take ourselves through the next few exercises. So let's stand up. Hopefully this camera is okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Nice. So our next exercise that we're going to do, we're going to work through a series of demi-pliés and relevés. We're going to have two patterns here that we're going to follow. We're going to have pattern A and pattern B. That's just going to repeat a couple times each. So once we get the hang of that pattern and we start changing positions, nice thing is that there's no surprises. It's all going to be the same stuff. So I want you guys to stand in front of the bar with your feet parallel together, side by side. Again, feeling that same, your ankles are going to be parallel, toes are going to be pointed forwards. And now that we're wearing our skates and standing up, if you have a mirror, this is super helpful, but if not, you can sort of just look downwards. We have this line at the top of our skate that's sort of like a seam. I want you guys to try to line up the seam or that line in front with the center of your blade, so we can truly stand on top of our feet and pay attention to if we're allowing our ankles to sag in or lean in one direction more than the other. Or perhaps maybe we're just holding our inside edges really strong as we walk, and this is going to be a big awareness moment for us to feel the difference between leaning out on our outside arches, being completely on top of our blades, or leaning into our inside edges. So right now we're completely on top of our blades. You can look down and make sure that's happening. We're lined up. Two hands are at the bar in front of us, about shoulder width apart. And we're gonna go for a demi-plie in 2 counts. We're gonna press into the floor. We plie 1, 2. We're gonna stretch up 3, 4. We're gonna releve on 5, 6. And we're gonna slowly lower on 7, 8. Nice. Now when we do this releve, I'm just gonna shift the bar here. When we do this releve up, now that we're wearing our skates, I really want you to feel the ball working through that articulation in the foot that we warmed up in the beginning. So working through the balls of the feet, working through the toes, and trying to get as high as we can without putting too much weight onto our supportive bar or chair or couch. So as we releve, I want you to give yourself a reminder to think about that capital I core. Our glutes are squeezing. Everything involved here is engaged. Our shoulders are down, and we're trying to lift straight up as best as we can towards the ceiling. So that was pattern 8, where we plie for 2 counts. 1, 2. We stretch up for 3, 4. We go up on releve 5, 6, and we lower 7, 8. Pattern B, similar, but we're going to plie on 1, stretch up on 2, go up to releve on 3, 4. Now we're going to plie in releve. So we're going to plie over our toe picks, 5, 6, and stretch up 7 to lower 8. So just a little bit quicker in the beginning of that sequence so that we can fit in the plie and releve within the same time frame. But again, as we do that plie and releve, you guys like go right over your toe picks here. We're trying to keep our shoulders over our hips, our glutes squeezing, but try to feel that range of motion of how much we can bend over. When Annette, the creator for Ballet for Figure Skaters, taught me these exercises, she mentioned that this was actually a point exercise on ballet shoes, where you'd go up and try to bend into your shoes over top of the top of that foot. So it's kind of neat that we can find a similar feeling here through our skates and bending into our toes like this, and really feeling that range of motion in our plie to stretch up and come down. So we're gonna do pattern A and pattern B twice each in our parallel or 6th position. So we're gonna go through that 1, 2, 3, 4, releve 5, 6, lower 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're going to plie 1, stretch 2, releve 3, 4. plie over our toes, 5, 6, stretch 7, lower 8, to repeat again, 1, 2, relevate 3, 4, plie over our toes, 5, 6, stretch 7 and 8. Then we're going to repeat this in a demi-second position. So I'm looking for about ankles just under your hip bones. So not too wide here, because again, we're not trying to favor any edge here. We're trying to be very neutral and on top of our blade. As we add in this now second position or demi-second, try to also pay attention to your knees tracking over your toes. This is super important when we get on the ice, because as we go to even just take a blade push, for example, if we already have one knee pushing in, we're going to have a really difficult time accessing that full range of motion and full potential of speed and power that we can get, because this is a misaligned position. So when we bend in this position, try to feel maybe a little bit of your inner thighs are working to keep open a bit, so we can hold that alignment strong as we press and stretch up. Cool. So let's go through those. Let's go through them once each. I really want to give this a try with music, and hopefully that'll be fine with my voice over the music, but we'll give it a try. And if not, we won't use it for the rest of the class. But we're going to go through that pattern, A and B, twice through in parallel, and then a demi-second. And then we're going to move on to 1 foot. So we're going to keep 1 foot parallel, and we're going to lift. You can pick any leg to coup de pied back. So think of connecting that ankle, or the inside of your ankle to the back of that skate. The leg you're standing on is still going to be parallel and facing forward, and we're going to go through that same pattern and that same exercise on 1 foot now, which is going to be, just so we can give it a try once, this is going to be plie 1, 2, stretch up 3, 4, we go to relevate 5, 6, lower 7, 8, and let's try pattern B. We plie 1, we stretch up 2, we go up to relevate 3, 4, we plie over that toe, oops, carefully don't stand too close to the chair or your knee will knock it, 5, 6, and stretch 7, lower 8. That'll be our first free leg position, and we'll do both patterns once on each leg, and then we'll switch legs to give the leg a break. A second position we'll do is we'll stretch out to the side at just 45 degrees, or even a little bit off the floor. We're already going to be getting such a good workout here. And then 45 degrees to the back, right behind us. Same situation, just a little bit off the floor. Does not need to be a high leg at all to feel this working. So I'm going to try some music. I'm going to play it, and then I'll just try to talk, and then we'll sort of troubleshoot if it'll be okay depending on volume. So hold for 2 seconds. Can you guys hear the music? Or maybe like a thumbs up or something? I just want to make sure I'm not going to be like talking and nothing's going to be heard.
We can't really hear it.
Okay, I'll try a bit louder. Thanks, Julie. How's this?
Still not really.
Okay, no worries. That's okay. No problem. Yeah, no worries about the music. All these exercises can be done at your own pace without music. It's just sort of nice to get into that ballet vibe. We also feel musicality and sort of feel a little bit of style from the music as we go into these exercises. But not a big deal for this class. We'll be exploring and just building that awareness together to the sound of my voice. Okay, so let's put it all together. And we're going to do, essentially 2 of each pattern per position. But you can always just watch me and we'll figure it out together. Okay, here we go. So our feet are parallel, our ankles together, hands are shoulder width apart. We're engaging our glutes right away, squeezing that capital I core. Lats are working strong, pulling our shoulders down. And 5, 6, 7, we demi-plie for 1, 2, we stretch up 3, 4, we rise to elevate, feel your knees pull up a stretch through your spine, lower 7, 8. Let's repeat that. Plie 1 and 2. Stretch up 3, 4. We rise to elevate 5, 6. Lower 7, 8. Pattern B. We plie 1. Stretch up 2. Rise up to elevate 3, 4. Plie over our toes 5, 6. Stretch 7. Lower 8. Pattern B. One more. Plie 1. Stretch up 2. Relevate 3, 4. Make sure you're keeping those glutes tight. 5, 6. Knees pointing forward here. Stretch 7. Lower 8. Great. Shake it out. And let's change into a demi-second. Legs are still parallel. Toes are pointing forward. Trying to stay on top of our blades. And here we go. We plie 1 and 2. We stretch up 3 and 4. We rise up to elevate 5 and 6. We lower 7, 8. We plie 1 and 2. Pushing into the floor to feel like we're extending up as we stretch. Relevate 5, 6. Lower 7, 8. Pattern B. We plie 1. Stretch up 2. Relevate 3, 4. Plie in. Relevate 5, 6. Get over those toe picks. Stretch 7, lower 8. One more time. Plie 1. Stretch 2. Relevate 3, 4. Feeling pulled up and lengthening through our upper body as we plie. Stretch 7, lower 8. Okay, we'll shake out our legs. We'll take a little breather and break. This is definitely hard work, but let's try to go to one foot now. Again, you can pick any leg. We're going to do both legs. So we'll start with coup de pied back, inside of that ankle to the back of the other ankle. And the leg we're standing on is still going to be parallel, pointing forward. Here we go. 6, 7, and we plie 1, 2. Trying to deepen that plie every time. Stretch 3, 4. We rise up to elevate 5, 6. Keep trying to hold turnout equally in both legs. 8. We plie 1, 2. Stretch up 3, 4. We rise to elevate 5, 6. Slowly lower 7, 8. Pattern B. We plie 1. Stretch up 2. Relevate 3. Knees are pulled up. Glutes are squeezing. Plie over the toe. 6. We stretch 7. Lower 8. One more time. Plie 1. Stretch up 2. Relevate 3 and 4. Plie over the toe pick 5. 6. Try to keep that knee pointing forward. Stretch 7. Lower 8. Great. Shake out that leg. We're going to do the other side in the same position. Coup de pied back. Every time we try to stretch up, whether it's through plie or plie in, demi-plie and releve, sorry. I want you to try and feel a lift through your torso and through the top of your head to the ceiling as we bend down and, as we stretch up as well. So both in bending down and in stretching up. When we get to the ice and we do any sort of generic stroking, it's super important that we feel lifted to not only help our presentation, but body alignment wise, help us keep our shoulders over our hips, help our core stay engaged, so we are able to hold these positions and really sustain the feeling of being strong in them. So here we go. Did we do the other leg? I think we did. Let's do the second position. So we're gonna go 45 out to the side and just slightly lift it off the floor. Again, the leg we're standing on is still parallel, but still trying to equally feel turnout in both legs. So we lift that leg up, 6, 7, 8. Plie 1, 2. We stretch up 3, 4. Both hip bones pointing forward. Relevate 6, lower 7, 8. Plie 1, 2. Stretch 3, 4. Relevate 5, 6. Lower 7, 8. We plie pattern B. 1. Stretch up 2. Relevate 3 and 4. Plie in, relevate 6. Keep squeezing your legs strong. 7, 8. One more time, pattern B. Plie 1. Relevate 2. Stretch up 3 and 4. Squeezing our glutes strong. 5, 6. Stretch 7. Lower 8. Good. We'll shake it out. As we hold that leg out to the side, try to keep the inside of your heel facing forward and exposed to the front. So that, again, you're holding the turnout in your hips, but it's also turning out that spiral through your leg and extending away from your hip as well. So we're trying to find that strong but lengthened feeling through our free leg when we do this exercise. Let's get ready for the other leg. So we'll now switch legs. Other leg will stretch out to the side. Even while it's on the floor, try to feel the inside of the heel. Turn to face the front. Squeezing your glutes, holding that tension to feel support. 5, 6, lift up 7, 8. Plie 1, 2, stretch 3, 4. Lift up 5, 6, lifting straight up, lower 8. Plie 1, 2, stretch up 3, 4. Lift 6, 7, 8. Pattern B. Plie 1, stretch up 2, releve 3, 4. Slowly bending, plie and releve 6, stretch 7, lower 8. One more. Plie 1, stretch up 2, releve 3, 4. Bending over the toe 5, 6, stretch 7, lower 8, and relax. Another thing I want you guys to keep in mind as we start to move to one foot, especially if you have a mirror in front of you, this is super visible. And you can sort of gain awareness in seeing the visual aspect of it. But as I'm lifting my leg up, there's a big tendency to lean over the supporting side too much. This is now allowing me to sort of give into this counterbalanced feeling, which is going to happen, but in a little bit of a different way if we can engage our muscles that stretch through our supporting side. So to be able to counterbalance it differently, we're going to push into the floor with our leg, like really feel an active push and try to stretch up through that supporting side. So we're pulling up as if like we have one of those claw machines grabbing our head and lifting us out of the ground, but our lower half is staying grounded. So we're finding lengthening, but also not allowing ourselves to break our alignment and lean over to hold the weight of the leg. So let's move on to wait, I don't think, did we do the second side? Let's move on to the leg behind us. I apologize if I missed the second side. So we'll be feet together. We're pointing the leg back. Inside of the heel is now facing the floor. And again, watch that line of your supporting side and find any breaks in it that sort of allow you to relax rather than hold your body in a really strong engaged way. So we're going to lift the leg up behind us. We plie 1, 2. We stretch up 3, 4. We go to releve 5, 6. Slowly lowering 7, 8. Plie 1, 2. Keeping that back leg lifted 3, 4. Both glutes are engaged strong 5, 6. Lowering 7, 8. Pattern B. Plie 1. Stretch up 2. Releve 3 and 4. Plie in releve over the toe 6, stretch 7, lower 8, plie 1, stretch up 2, releve 3, 4, plie in releve 6, stretch 7, lower 8. Great. Shake it out, and here we go for the other side. Right away. Nice. Other leg is stretched right behind you, and you can sort of, again, you track that in a mirror in front of you, or you can look downwards and make sure you're extending your leg straight to the back. Not crossing it in, not stretching it out too far to the side, just right behind that hip bone. Cool, here we go. 5, 6, feeling lifted, pelvis is level, capital I core is strong. 7, lift up, we plie 1, 2, we stretch up 3, knee pulls up before we go to releve 6, slowly lower 7, 8, plie 1, 2, stretch up 3, 4, we go to releve 5, 6, lower 7, 8, we plie 1, stretch up 2, releve 3, squeezing our glutes strong, plie over the toe, knee pointing forward 6, fight the shaking ankle, it's okay, but we gotta stay strong, plie 1, releve 2, stretch up 3, 4, sorry, now plie over the toe 6, stretch 7, lower 8, and drop the leg. Great. Shake it out. Let's take a second to just grab a drink and relax our legs for a bit. Are we feeling okay so far? Getting a good workout in? Yes, nice. Happy to hear, Sophia. Cool. Yeah, feel free to write any thoughts you have in the chat about anything I'm saying or things that you're noticing. Maybe I often find that, we do a lot of skating on the ice and I don't notice the weight of my skate a lot, but the second I get off the ice and do these exercises, my skate feels infinitely heavier than it does on the ice. And that's to do with, lots of physics and stuff. But just from a strength training kind of point of view, it's nice that we can use our own equipment that some of us, use on the daily in a different way to strengthen our bodies rather than perhaps like a usual approach with, other equipment and stuff. But anyways, yay. Okay, we're going to move on to this next one. I call it it's called a stroking exercise. We're essentially going to be walking through blade pushes at the bar. And what I really want you to or encourage you to take this one without my skates. Yes. I'm so happy to hear that it's just opening a new world, Sophia. And it's what a great like training opportunity, right? That you can just take these, you guys have this recording moving forward. You can take these, 4 or 5 exercises and essentially train from them off the ice, on top of other stuff that you usually do. But yeah, totally a whole new world. Agree. Okay, this is going to be, as I said, stroking exercise. And I encourage you guys to try this on the ice at the boards. So you'll have your blades on the ice and you can really scrape into the ice and feel that extension. So here we go. That'll be a nice sort of connection between our off ice and on ice practice. So we're going to start feet together in parallel, same idea, or 6 position, however you want to call it. We're going to demi-plie for 1, 2. Now you're just going to move 1 foot, slide it back 3, 4 into that nice T-pose position. And we're going to push the heel into the floor and extend it back. Now there can't be a lot of weight on this foot because there's a lot of resistance on the floor. So you're going to have to sort of feel it out, feel that weight transfer, whatever ratio works for you right now. Again, on the ice, you can really press in with a ton of energy and power, and you can give into that kind of snow side scrape feeling. Oh. Sorry, did you want to say something? Or oh, just want to make sure. No worries. You're good. You're good. It's totally fine. Just want to make sure I didn't miss it. Okay. But anyways, we play a 1, 2. We turn out 3, 4 to that T position. And then we push our heel into the floor. 5, 6. Hang on. What? Yeah. We're going to push our heel into the floor. 5, 6. And then we're going to lift it off. 7, 8. We're going to hold here. 1, 2. On 3, 4. We're going to try to let go of our arms and stretch them out to the side. 3, 4. Stay here on 5, 6. Come back down 7. Close in and rise up on 8. Now, this moment may even just be, you feel your balance for a second. It's very hard to balance on a skate like that off the ice on top of the blade. So through our engagement, through engaging our legs, our core, that capital I core, our glutes, everything, even just the way we lift our arms and stretch them out to the side. Try to feel this extension from fingertip to fingertip, or feel like you're reaching your arms out through the walls of in your room. But that's going to be a fun moment to just sort of check our balance and see what's happening. So we'll start with our feet together. Let's go through it a little bit more flowy now. So we have 6, 7, 8. We plie 1, 2. We take the leg back 3, 4. We push into the floor 5, 6. Lift off 7, 8. We hold for 2. Lift and pull up 3, 4, 5, 6. Come back 7. Stretch up 8. It's definitely a challenge, but a fun one. Let's do the other side. We plie 1, 2. Other leg. changes to T position, 3, 4. We push the heel into the floor as we slide that leg back, 6, lift up, 7, 8. We're gonna hold here, 1, 2, arm stretch out to the side, 3, 4, 5, 6, come back, 7, stretch up, 8. Nice. And then sort of the direction that you start to fall in as we release our arms up and try to balance is going to be sort of a little bit of a cue on how we can more level out our body. So if I'm falling a lot to the outside, I'm going to really try to squeeze that opposite side to try and level out my shoulders and try to feel level in my hips so that I'm as balanced in the middle as much as possible. Great, so let's try that 2 times on each leg. We'll alternate, we'll go right, left, and right and left. As you're doing this, try to keep the supporting leg knee pointing forwards over that toe pick. Here we go. 5, 6, we're facing the bar, 7 feet are parallel. We plie, 1, 2, we slide the leg back to T-pose, 3, 4, open the knee, feel the turn out, push into the floor, 6, lift up, 7, 8, toe is pointed strong. We hold, 2, let's lift up, 3, pulling up, 4, 5, 6, nice, stretch, 7, stretch up, 8, other side, plie, 1, 2, T-pose, 3, 4, push the heel into the floor as you stretch the leg across, lift up, 7, 8, pointing the toe hard, squeezing our glutes, lift up, 3, 4, hold, 5, 6, come back, 7, stretch up, 8. Let's do each leg again, 1, 2, open, 3, 4, squeezing the glutes, push into the floor with the heel, 7, 8, hold, 1, 2, lift up, 3, hold, 4, hold, 5, hold, 6, nice, come back, 7, stretch up, 8, last side, 1, 2, open, 3, 4, stretch, 6, lift, 7, 8, feel engaged, capital I core, let's lift up, 3, 4, hold, 5, 6, come in, 7, stretch up, 8. Great, let's shake it out, we'll take a quick break, quick sip of water if you like, that one was a short one, short but sweet. Because now we're going to take one skate off. So I'm going to take off my left skate. It can be any leg. We'll do both. How are we doing on time? 9:40. We are going to, yeah, we're fine. So I'm going to take my left skate off. Keep in mind that the skate you're taking off is going to be your supporting leg. The skate that's the leg that's wearing the skate is going to be doing the most of the work, although they're both working very hard. So that's not really true, but yeah. Okay, so pick a leg, take a skate off, relax for 2 seconds. I just have a couple exercises I want to get through on one foot. And if we don't end up having time to do both feet on one skate, I definitely encourage you to try the other side at your own time, at your own pace. But I want to get in as much information for you guys as possible, so you have lots to take away from this. All right. Okay, great. We're going to move to using one hand on the bar or your chair or your couch. And at all times, you can either have the arm stretched out to the side or strong on your waist. If this is going to be a little bit too much, no big deal, no problem. You can have that hand on your waist. So turn here. Nice. So we're gonna, so again, I have my left skate off. That's the side that's closest to the bar. And the leg that has my skate on is gonna be on the outside. This is called a dégagé exercise, but essentially we're gonna be moving through stretched, bent positions. We're gonna flex our feet. We're gonna point. We're gonna just kind of remind ourselves of the articulation through the foot. as we go through this. So we're starting in this kind of third position. Since we have this awkward now kind of height difference, you can just sort of bend this leg relaxed in front of you. So my left foot is behind and my right heel is in the middle of towards the middle of my left foot, but relaxed in front. So again, have our arm on the side or arm on the waist. We're going to lift and stretch the leg to the front for 1, 2. We're going to flex on 3, 4. We turn in on 5, 6. We turn out on 7, 8. We point on and. We do a demi-plie in the supporting leg. 1, 2. We carry to the side. 3, 4, 5, 6. Stretch 7. Lower back 8 in front. So let me go through that a little bit slower. We're starting out turned. We're already turned out. Our glutes are squeezing to hold that turnout in our hips. Capital I core strong. Hand is slightly in front of you, not reaching too far front, not sort of cramped to the side and not behind you. Slightly in front. Let that elbow relax here. Here we go. So 5, 6, 7, 8. We dégagé front. 1, 2. Leg is stretched and pointed. We flex 3, 4. We turn in on 5, 6. And again, that turn in is trying to happen just in the hip. Turn out on 7, 8. Point on and. We plie 1, 2. Try to lengthen that leg forward and feel it getting longer as you plie. We carry to the side 3, 4, 5, 6. Lots of time here. Stretch 7. Place it back in front on 8. We're going to repeat now the same series of movements to the side and carry the leg to the back. Same series of movements to the back and carry the leg to the side. And then we shall talk about it, try it again, and move on. So let's do a full run through now of everything that goes front to side to back, back to side, and then let's go for side to front one more time. Keep in mind that when we do the second part of the exercise, the demi-plie and the rond de jambe to the side, that you're, again, trying to hold the turnout very strong in this leg as equally as this one. Remember when we were on the floor and we were doing the leg rotations in our first turnout exercise? It's that same feeling, that same rotation in our hips that's holding this side strong as this leg did that rotation, that multiplanar movement. We're going to try to find that same feeling standing up at the bar now. So again, we have that bridge from floor to bar where we connect these exercises and find the same feelings and work on the same concepts, but bring the awareness. So here we go. You got this. Hands on our waist. We're standing up tall. Try not to sit in this hip and relax. Squeeze your glutes, lift up through your torso, and lengthen, lengthen, lengthen through your head to the top of the ceiling. 5, 6, 7, 8. We dégagé front. 2, flex 3, 4. Turn in 5, 6. Turn out 7, 8. Point and plie. 2. Lengthen the leg inside of the heel, stays pointing forward. 5, 6. Stretch 7 in front. 8. Same thing to the side. Dégagé side. 2. Flex 3, 4. Turn in 5, 6. Turn out 7, 8. Point and plie. 2. Lengthen the leg up. Rotating back, trying to keep the hips as still as possible. 5, 6. Stretch 7. Lower behind 8. Just a quick pause. We'll resume from the backwards, the second half of the exercise. But notice as we carry the leg from the front to the side or the side to the back, that it's very hard to hold our pelvis still and keep both hip bones facing forward. Especially this transition from side to back is some of the hardest transitions that honestly can exist for strengthening, but it can be very valuable and effective to train our hips to hold that position strong, so we can work on building stability and feeling good about it. But when I'm taking that leg to the back, I'm really trying to rotate through my hips even more, stay grounded in this leg, push into the floor, and keep sending my extension outwards as if there's a string, again, pulling my leg out and moving it around me. So my leg is reaching out and then around at the same time as I hold that turnout. Let's go from back to side, then side to front. 6, 7, and we dégage back. Hold. 2, flex. 3, 4, turn in. 5, 6, turn out. 7, 8 point and plie. 2, inside of the heel is leading this, so tricky. Fight strong. 5, 6, stretch up. 7, lower. 8, we go side. 2, flex. 3, 4, rotate inside the hips, that internal rotation, turn out. 7, 8 point and plie, lengthen. 2, rotate. 3, carry your leg to the front, inside of the heels leading. 5, 6, stretch. 7, lower. 8. Amazing. That's our whole dégagé exercise. Just again, enforcing the idea that turnout must be equal on both sides, and that we can't allow ourselves to break alignment here. When doing difficult turns on the ice, any sort of rocker, any sort of counter, super easy, or even just doing basic edge work, just like half lobes, outsides and insides. It's really easy to get into this comfy feeling of sitting into that hip as you ride that circle around. And this is breaking our alignment here and taking away from the potential quality of the lean that we can find into the circle when we skate those exercises and those turns. So it's so important that we think about the outside side of our body squeezing to keep everything under and contained, so that when we get on the ice and we're even just doing basic blade pushes, we can keep that neutral position and stay on top of our foot, so that we will feel more stable and we can have stronger leans that will be very united with our whole body and not just parts of our body leaning in and out of the circle. So with that being said, how am I doing on time? Let's move on to the next exercise, and then we'll quickly get that other skate back on, potentially. But the next exercise, we're going to be having our backs to the bar. And this is a développé and relevé long exercise. Same idea. We're in the sense of we're holding ourselves strong on the side. I'll just go through the movement right now, and then we'll talk about it later. But we're going to retirate and lift that foot up. 1, 2. We're going to again turn out in the hip. 3, turn out 3, turn in 3, turn out 4. We're going to take that leg to side attitude. 5, to stretch out. 6, 7, and lower back down. 8. So just to go over that, we retirate. 1, 2, we turn in from the hip. 3, we turn out from the hip. 4, and we start extending that leg. And 5, 6, 7 to lower. 8. Again, pay attention to if you're allowing yourself to sit into that hip, or if you feel the supporting side working as hard as the free side in terms of maintaining that turnout. Nice. Now we're going to leave that leg. So it came in, we're going to stretch it back out to the side. 1, 2, we're going to carry front. 3, hold. 4, we're going to flex. 5, we're going to point. 6, we're going to lower to tendu. 7, and close. 8. So second part of that exercise, where we just finished our extension to the side and we lower it down, we're actually going to leave it out in a tendu position. We're going to lift up. 1, 2, carry to the front. 3, 4, to flex. 5, point. 6, lower. 7, close in front. 8. And then we're going to repeat everything to the front. So we retirate. 1, 2, turn in. 3, turn out. 4, we attitude front. 5, 6, stretch. 7, lower down. 8 into a tendu. We lift up our leg, relevé long front. 1, 2, we carry to the side. 3, 4, flex. 5, point. 6, lower. 7, close. 8. And then since we have the skate on, we would do everything to the back and the side as a repeat, but this would be facing the bar. So I'm just going to go through that. So it'll be on this video and you guys will have that, but we're facing the bar now. Just to make sure you can see me, our legs behind. We'll retirate. 1, 2. We'll turn in. 3. We'll turn out. 4. We'll lift side attitude. 5, 6, 7. lower 8. We'll lift up 1, 2. We'll carry our leg to the back, 3, 4. We'll flex 5. We'll flex 6. We'll lower 7, and we'll close 8. What's really important when you take your leg and rotate to the back is you feel the opposite shoulder trying to connect to the pinky toe of your leg. So maximum rotation in both hips. As I carry my leg from side to back, this shoulder's trying to pull back and meet it there so that my body can now be square and aligned with shoulders and hips facing the front. After we finish that rotation and we drop down, we retrograde 1, 2, we turn in 3, we turn out 4, back attitude, and 5, 6, 7, lower 8. Then we lift 1, 2, we carry to the side 3, 4, internal rotation in the hip, inside of the heel facing forward, flex 5.6, lower 7, closing up 8. Great. Jillian, I have a question. If you're there, maybe she's not there.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry. What's your
Okay, sweet.
question? Yeah, no.
Is it a harsh cutoff at 10, or can we do a little bit more, or just to gauge?
You can definitely go a few minutes past. That's okay. I
Sweet.
wouldn't worry about it. Yeah.
Okay, great. Then very fast, you guys. Let's undo our skates, put that other skate on, and get this going, because I would love for that equal feeling in both sides right now, just in case you don't have time to do it. And now you're going to go to bed feeling super lopsided. So let's quickly put the other skate on and take that skate off. Let's do it in like a record time of 1 minute. While we're taking this break, feel free to grab a drink of water or take a rest if you need. Okay, amazing. Let's get this other side going. So we're going to go back to our dégagé exercise. I'll give you guys like 30 more seconds, just in case. Nice. So now we switch sides. I'm going to be on the other side of the bar, so that'll be super clear. Let's do a quick review just while we're waiting. So hand can be over our waist. We dégagé front 1, 2. We flex 3, 4. We turn in 5, 6. We turn out 7, 8. Point on and. We plie 1, 2. We carry that leg to the side 3, 4, 5, 6. Stretch 7. Lower back in on 8 into that third. So just a little refresh of the sequence. All right, let's give it a try. A little bit slower tempo, hands can be on your waist. Now make sure that inside side or the side closest to the bar is going to stay supported and you're feeling the lift through that side as well. So we don't get comfortable and start counterbalancing that leg. Here we go, 6, 7, and we dégagé front. 1, 2, we flex hard. 3, 4, internal rotation. 5, 6, turn out 7, 8, point and we plie and lengthen. 2, carry to the side. 3, 4, hold. 5, 6, stretch up. 7, pull up in the torso, close in. 8, we dégagé side. 1, 2, flex hard. 3, 4, turn in. 6, turn out. 8, point and plie. 2, carry to the side. 3, hold that turn out strong in both sides. 5, 6, stretch. 7, lower. 8, stretching to the back. 2, flex hard. 3, 4, turn in. 6, turn out. 8 points on end plie. 2, rotate 3, feel a pull up as we rotate deep plie. 6, stretch up 7, last side, you got this side. 2, flex hard 3, 4, turn in 5, 6, turn out 7, 8 point end plie. 2, rotate front 3, inside of the heel leading this rotation. 5, 6, stretch 7, close. 8, woo. Nice, nice everybody. Believe I saw a message. No worries if you like miss this Zoom at all. It will be recorded and saved and sent to everybody who signed up. So no worries at all. Okay, let's move on to our developer and relevé long exercise, and then we'll do a little bit of a cool down to move to end off class. So again, this one has our backs to the bar. Now we're working that left leg. Just to review quickly, retire 1, 2, turn in 3, turn out 4. We attitude stretch 6, 7, lower 8. We lift up 1, 2. We carry to the front 3, 4, flex 5.6, lower and close in 7, 8. Here we go. I know that was really fast, but I'll do it slow right now. So we're here, leg is in front and third, standing up tall, supported standing side, feeling that strong capital I core, glutes are engaged, feeling turn out from your hips. We lift up to retire 1, 2. We turn in 3, turn out 4, carry to the side. Side attitude 5, extend 6, 7, lower to tendu 8. We lift up 1, 2. We carry our leg to the front. Inside of the heel is leading. Flex 5.6, lower 7, close in 8. We repeat to the front. 1, retire 2. Turn in from the hip 3, turn out from the hip 4. We attitude front, extend 6, 7, tendu front 8. We releve long, lift 1, 2, carry to the side 3, 4, flex 5.6, lower 7, close in 8. And then we'll quickly turn around to do the back side here. Try to remember that opposite shoulder to foot connection when you carry your leg and do any work to the back, but also keep pulling up in that supported side. Here we go. 6, 7, and we retire 1, 2, turn in 3, turn out 4, attitude side 6, 7, lower to tendu 8. Releve long, lift 2, carry to the back, opposite shoulder connecting, flex 5.6, lower 7, close in 8. Last side, retire 1 and 2. Attitude back 3, extend 4. Oh, sorry, 1 and 2, my bad. Turn in 3, turn out 4. Attitude back, extend 6, 7, lower to tendu 8. Releve long, lift 2, carry to the side, inside of the heel leading, flex 5.6, lower 7, close in 8. All right, 10 o'clock on the dot. Let's do a quick cool down and help your feet come down from all the work we just did. So let's take our skates off, or skate. Let's take our skate off. And we'll just do a very quick cool down that you can, again, feel free to do your own thing after class, however you need, but we're going to lay down on our back and do some ankle rolls. So again, sort of similar to that, oh, you can't see my feet, to that first feeling we found when we were flexing and pointing, but we're gonna roll our ankles in each direction. You still can't see my feet. We're gonna roll our ankles in each direction 8 times. And just, you know, a general quick, not too fast, not too slow, but try to relax your body into the floor. We just did a lot of work that hopefully felt good, but it's important to cool down afterwards. So let's roll our ankles 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the other way, 8, into out or out to in, depending on what direction, 3, 4, these are full circles, 5, maybe hip width apart feet, 7, 8, nice. You can always come back to that massage anytime your feet need a break. But let's open to a second straddle. And we're gonna have our hands out to the side. We're gonna flex our feet and bend our knees in 1, 2, and we're gonna point and stretch 3, 4, flex 5, 6, point and stretch 7, 8, work through the feet, flex 1, 2, point and stretch 3, 4, flex 5, 6, point and stretch 7, 8. And then feel free, this was just a couple, but feel free to do that massage. Feel free to do any other stretching that you guys would like to cool down from that. And then we'll move on from there. Do these exercises build up the core, or would one need to? These exercises will build up the core. I will say that these exercises weren't, we would, again, like I said in the beginning, you can do all of these exercises without skates, and the difficulty will feel a lot less in having that weight on your feet pulling you down. So absolutely, they will build up the core. If it is too hard initially with the skates, do all of them without the skates and you will build up the core. Any other core exercises that you do on the side will, of course, just be great and super helpful as well. But yes, these exercises will build your core. Sweet. Yep, ankle weights will totally help. Absolutely. Same sort of idea as having that weight at the end of your foot where it's going to feel the heaviest. So yeah, an ankle weight is a great substitute for not having skates to wear. Totally. Okay, you guys are so welcome. I guess Jillian will take over from here. But thank
Vlad,
you,
that was
everybody.
so great. That was so good, Vlad.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you guys for all being here. This recording will get sent out, so if you want to go back and snag anything, it'll be sent out to everybody who signed up for it. The only other one thing I need to mention again is that Skate Away, like our big adult weekend skating event, is super fun. It's in Austin, Texas in September. It's a really good time for any adults who love to skate. But the early bird registration, which is discounted, is going live on Monday. So just keep an eye out for that. And then our next virtual series will be on July 16th, and that's with Lorna Brown. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Vlad.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Jillian. You guys were great. Yay.